and a very good day to engineering thinkers, and welcome to Engineering Thinking Kopitiam Podcast by IK Academy. So before we start, let me introduce myself. I am Sarah.
And I'm Asya, and we're gonna be your host for today.
Alright, Asya, so we're only on our second episode of Kopitiam Podcast. Would you mind share with our audience what is actually Kopitiam Podcast? What will they hear or know about when they tune into this podcast?
Well, Sarah, actually, kita punya Kopitiam Podcast Engineering Thinking ni actually is to inspire to everyone to think like an engineers. And also this podcast is actually to invite everyone yang mana yang related to engineers ataupun yang baru nak menjadi engineers ataupun they are not the engineers. This show is actually for everyone and everyone is welcome to join our podcast.
Yes, that's true. Betul,
Yes.
betul. So we're actually doing this podcast for the people to dive into the minds of the engineers to see what are they doing in their daily life and in their career, and maybe we can learn some tips or tidbits how to advance ourselves either professionally or personally once we dive into the marvelous world of engineering.
Yes, correct. Actually, Sarah, kita nak bagi tahu kita punya audience untuk jangan lupa untuk follow kita punya Engineering Thinking by Kopitiam Podcast.
Yes,
Betul tak?
right, betul. So we have our Instagram, our Facebook, and our LinkedIn. Do hit us, leave us a follow there,
Yes,
and
betul.
also leave a like on this video and share this episode to whoever you think would be interested in listening to the stories of Malaysian engineering.
So you guys tak akan terlepas any of our episode. If we have a new episode, you guys akan dapat notification daripada kita, right?
Yeah, especially when you subscribe to us.
Betul. Okay, so Sarah,
Yeah.
today kita punya guest apa? I dengar our podcast, our guest today actually terbang daripada jauh ataupun tidak? What do you?
Okay.
Is it, boleh tak you introduce apa gitu?
Okay. Actually, our guest for today has spent more than 10 years in Malaysia. Okay. All right, so he's actually from electrical and electronic background,
Okay.
and from that he continued his journey into information science and technology, and from that he expands his expertise into AI, machine learning, deep learning, large language model, generative AI, and big data science.
Oh,
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah, very wide
Kita punya podcast
expertise.
ni macam very interesting, okay?
Yeah, very different
very
niche.
related to news punya sekarang punya trending, betul tak?
Betul. That's true.
Okay, without further ado, kita nak welcome kita punya guest untuk hari ini. Welcome to Mr. Obaydee. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really a pleasure to be here with the Kopitiam Podcast.
All right, that's nice. Thank you, Doctor, for being here with us. We're delighted to have you here. All right, so without wasting our time, let's ask our guests here, what is it feels like? What are they doing in their daily life? So let's explore his career. So Dr. Obaydee, can you share with us what's your day-to-day work really look like actually?
Okay, all right. Yes, thank you for the question. So, based on my background, I have a bachelor in electrical engineering, I have a master in computer science, and then I have a PhD in AI.
Yep.
Back then, 10 years ago, I was graduated from UKM, Bangi.
So that's where you get the 10-year experience in living
Yeah.
in Malaysia. Okay.
Exactly. It's been 18 years in Malaysia so far.
Wow.
Going to be
Almost
19
2 decades.
Yeah. So that's why I say I'm more Malaysian than Malaysians now. All right. Okay. So the PhD, it was in AI. I was using machine learning to work with the X-ray images. I built a prototype, and that prototype to automate the process of annotating and describing images. Medical doctors, they call it automated anatomy, but for us people from the technical part, we call it classification and annotation. So then after I finished my PhD, I started to do my own things. Then the first thing I did, it was to be a certified professional trainer. Then I was certified by the HRDC. Now, back then they call it HRDF, now they call it HRDC.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So I started my journey to be a trainer and then moved to be doing some consultation sometimes, and then providing services, building models, tuning the models, deployment. So
Automation model.
Automation recently. This is what we started recently because
Right.
now AI moved to the new era, which is
That's
the
correct.
automation.
Yep.
Yeah. So my days will be a lot of training. So my training will be technical training based on building models, improving the evaluation, deploying them using programming language like Python programming language. And then I have another part of training, which is mainly for upskilling and reskilling. So that one is going to be about how to use AI for productivity, how to use AI for automation, AI for leaders I started recently. So for those people who they want to know what is AI, what are the capabilities of AI, should we build locally or should we buy whatever is available currently? And beside the training that I do, I also am a lecturer. I do part-time lecturing currently in Senway and Taylor and in UM. This is only for the master program. I supervise students. And then I do consultation for some of the organizations and universities. We try to reduce the gap between industry and education.
Very nice.
There's always a gap, right? Yeah, so these are my days. If I'm free, then will be definitely a lot of reading. Need to cope up, need to read about what is new.
Right. Okay.
That's a lot of experience.
That's a lot of things that he does. He does in
You
a
do a
day.
lot of things.
Is it?
Yeah.
I hope so.
It's like you're the advocate of AI. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, then what is the one decision that you make almost every day that people wouldn't realize that one is very critical?
Okay, all right. So I think this is the most important question currently for everyone. Because everyone think like, okay, everything can be done by AI, which is not. It's not everything can be done by AI. Okay, I think what do you use
Maybe
for
in
daily
the
for the
maybe
daily?
now cannot. But what about in the future?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what about the future?
I thought there's no limitation to how AI can be.
Yeah, because mostly we use AI
Right.
and everything is AI.
Yeah, exactly. Currently, the era, they call it the generative AI era, right? And the
Yeah.
future, and I think a decade or 2 decades from now, going to be about AGI, artificial general intelligence. And then later on, other few decades, we are going to move to ASI, artificial super intelligence. But if you ask me, I would consider AI as a tool, or I would consider it as a skill that everyone must have currently. But is it like everything is going to be done by AI? I don't think so. If you ask me, I don't think so. If you take from the developer perspective, definitely the AI is not going to be replaced by a human, or AI is not going to be like, oh, not everything is going to be solved by AI. Yeah, but on the consumer side, yes, they might think that AI can replace a human. AI is just only taking over some of the skills. Some of the skills become obsolete, but at the same time, offering a lot of job opportunities, offering a lot of new skills.
All right. That's actually sounds assuring, like reassuring to us, because we always concern ourselves: are we gonna get replaced by AI? But knowing from you, someone who's been in the industry for the longest time, saying that AI is not going to replace us, give us a bit
That's
sense
very
of
different
security.
from our viewpoint,
Yeah.
actually.
The thing is, someone with AI going to replace me if I am not with AI. Someone who can use AI effectively, AI tools, whatever related to AI, those they have the skills of AI, they are going to replace people who are not aware of AI or they are not using AI. If you ask me, coming from the academia, coming from whatever like I have to share with the students, before we used to talk about soft skills like to have a knowledge of how to use computer, to have a knowledge of Microsoft Office, all of those basic communication, kind of management. If you ask me now, I would say the soft skills supposed to be AI tools. And we don't talk only about ChatGPT. I think ChatGPT is the most common to
Yeah,
everyone,
Yes.
right?
Even me myself also use it.
You use it every day,
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
every day.
How many tools do you use?
I use ChatGPT for a general question, Gemini for research, and also some perplexity,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
for some research as well. Yeah.
Correct.
And
So it's like
also,
three tools?
For social media.
yeah, and
for
also
caption, description,
different
everything.
AI tools for different productivity.
Exactly. So but the question is, do you know how many AI tools are available currently in the market? Can you guess the number of AI tools
Okay.
besides those you
I
mentioned?
suppose a lot.
Okay,
It's
I
like
want to
what?
take a guess.
If
I want
nowadays,
to take since ChatGPT is released in 2024, right?
Yes.
And it's
Later 2021.
Oh, late 2021. I think more than 100 now.
More than 100, okay?
Yeah, it's supposed to be more than
A
100.
bit
Okay,
more, a lot more.
a lot
lot
more,
more?
and it's only been like 5 years.
Yeah.
It's expanding
So
rapidly.
fast.
Do you think
Yeah.
there are thousands currently in the market?
Oh, that would be
No.
like too high of a number.
So based on my research, based on my latest check, which is before this podcast, there are 47, 470, 47, okay, 47,000 plus.
47.
That's a lot.
47,000,
Thousand.
yes.
That's like 47,000.
You go to a website called There's an AI for that. Once you visit this website, they will give you like updates, and they also will share every day the new
Oh, they will
launch.
come up with the list.
Yes, the new launch tool. So that's why the question is, so as long as there are thousands currently in the market, why don't I develop an AI for myself? I can develop
Yeah.
an AI tool to use it for free
Yeah,
and
that
to
is
maintain the privacy.
personalized to yourself.
Yeah, and 100% exactly personalized. Yeah, so maybe you can think about it.
So you're saying that there's an AI tool out there that I can use for my own productivity that is curated to me,
Exactly, yes.
and is it free or
It's 100% free, and it is way easier than what you think or everyone think. And people, they think that, okay, no, this is quite difficult.
Oh.
This is need a lot of coding. This is need a lot of like skills.
Yeah,
Need coding, needs coding, needs skill, but it's not as you think. Within like a few days, within like a month or 2 months, you can build your own tool and you can use it locally.
Oh my god, I actually feel like excited to try it out after this. I want
Yes,
to
it's
I want to personalize
great.
my own AI. So I won't have to
this, maybe we
so
can
are
explore.
so yeah, so are those tools they inspired from another AI models or another AI tools? For example, they're gonna they're gonna use my questions and they're gonna prompt it to another AI tools to get the answer from that and then give it to me, or how is this personalized AI tools gonna work?
All right, so the personalized AI that you are going to develop, right? And all of those tools, they are currently considered as open sources. So that's why you can use them for
Yes.
free. And definitely they have been trained on whatever data available currently so in the market and whatever question being asked, whatever data being uploaded, because they have the right to use
Yep,
it for,
yeah.
for training. They are not going to share our data with other people, but they are going to use those data to be more developed, to be train again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, you think about it and give it a try. Give it a try.
Interesting. I will definitely give it a
I will
try.
explore for sure.
Alright. All right.
Okay, and then Mr. White, what did the experience that changed about how you work for today?
Okay, experience for today. Okay, let me share with you my own experience. I do a lot of courses. I created courses for training. I do a lot of research. I do a lot of coding. I build models. So let's talk about courses. So courses, they used to take like 1 to 3 hours to develop a course, to come with the slides. And I'm fully aware of the knowledge, but I need to tailor the course based on the requirements, based on the client. So let's say taking 3 hours, currently taking 10 minutes because of the AI tools that I'm using. When it comes to coding, for coding, I used to spend days, weeks, sometimes months for coding. Now with a new model, I'm using Claude Opus 4.6. I'm using Manus currently. So it's a matter of few hours, could be a matter of minutes. I'm developing and I'm getting things that I want to use ready. So the current experience is about the human involvement, or I would say human judgment, with the speed of the machine. This is what we call it, the modern setting of working in this era.
Yeah.
So it's like how to speed up the process, how to use whatever tools available to get things faster and to get things more efficient.
So all the codings it will automatically work, or you
Not
have to tweak
100%.
it.
Yeah,
some
I still need to amend some codes. I still need to edit. I'm using vibe codes currently, but I don't advise anyone to use vibe code unless if you are you have a very good experience and very good fundamentals about codes, then you can use vibe codes. But vibe codes, if you are aware of whatever related to coding, then vibe codes can speed up the process a lot.
Right, that's very nice to know. So you personalize training. So I want to know how long does it take you to realize that you are actually capable in sharing your knowledge? How long in the industry would it take to make you feel like you're confident enough to share your knowledge, your experience, to give back to the industry?
Okay, all right. So I think this is related to my father.
Oh,
When I was a
okay.
kid, always my father used to say, learn the tool. He didn't mention what tool, just learn the tool. He didn't say, okay, should I learn PowerPoint? Should I learn computer programming
that's very
language?
general instruction.
Yeah, just learn the tool. So since I was a kid, I just always look for technology, look about things going on, trying to speed up the process of learning new things, trying to figure out how to occupy this technology for my own good things. Then after I finished my PhD, I just found like I want to do something more than teaching. I don't want like just only to be a lecturer. I want like to be exposed to industry. I want to like to get involved in the industry. I want to use my research for the industry. So that's why I found that there is a big gap between
That's true.
yeah.
There's always a big gap between industry and academia itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also I found like in that time, back to 2016, people are not really aware of AI.
Yeah, so
Correct.
because
Even
you're
myself
doing
10 years ago.
yeah, because you're doing your PhD way early in AI and like the AI start booming in 2021,
That's right.
but you've already involved in that industry way longer than that.
All right, so talking about AI, by the way, do you know AI was launched as a technology back to 1956?
Yeah, I know it started early, but it's not that not many people use, and it's very like specific to the specific industry, so it's not really widely available for the consumers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's what makes me okay. What about I start my journey to be like more towards industry? Then I was advised to be a trainer, and then become certified trainer. So that will give me a chance to start offering my courses, and then in that time was mainly for the technical courses. Back then it was a lot of data science, big data, data analytics. People they want to work with the data. They want to build a story telling from the data. They want to analyze the data. And I'm still doing this. The demand is still high on data analysis and data analytics. But now we are more towards also the tools of AI and developing those tools and then how to maximize the usage of AI. So that's why currently we talk about AI for productivity. So like how to use a
Yeah.
Copilot with the Microsoft system, ecosystem like PowerPoint, Word, and Excel. How to use Gemini with the Google ecosystem. Currently, even the cloud also, we can use it with Microsoft agents, the AI agents.
Alright.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
very well. That's good. That's
I
great.
also want to ask about, do you think, based on your opinions, which software of AI that you think that very popular?
oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. I think this is quite hard because like the velocity of the development is very high currently. So like if you ask me, I would say like a few months ago, Gemini was taking the lead before Copilot was
correct.
taking the lead. If we talk about AI for productivity, but currently I'm using Claude. I'm so into Claude. I'm using Claude. I'm paying also. I'm using the paid version. Even the paid version currently is not enough. I need to go for the higher one. Claude comes with a lot of good models for coding, Opus 4.6. They come with the co-work. Currently, you can install it in your device and you can control it by your mobile phone. So I can like do things on my device while I'm traveling, while I'm having a TTDI, while I'm sitting in any Kopitiam.
Oh.
Then I can run a lot of models. I can ask to access my data in my device, in my laptop, in my desktop, and then can run a lot of things while I'm having my leisure time.
Oh, so that's a lot of accessible. It can access to your device, and you can just control it on whichever device is the nearest to you.
Yes, exactly,
Oh,
exactly.
okay, that's very nice.
Is it, I mean, like for is it ChatGPT is something like very, what we say, very simple, and then the rest. What do you think about that?
Is ChatGPT? I think the question would be something like, is ChatGPT is the simplest AI tools, the productivity that people would generally go to rather than
Advancing.
exploring the rest of the advanced AI tool.
All right. Yes. Yes. Thank you for the question. ChatGPT, I don't think is the simple one. ChatGPT is the most common one because ChatGPT was the first one to come to the market
Yep.
as a generative AI tool. It was released in late 2021, and then people start using it. It was mainly for the content writing. Now it can be for multiple purpose. They come with the ChatGPT codex, which is something that you can install it in your device. You can do a lot of things. You can customize. You can personalize. ChatGPT is still considered as a very good competitor. Based on the benchmark that I check every day, I think certain models of ChatGPT is still taking the lead. Even for coding, just now I mentioned Claude is the best for coding currently. Claude Opus 4.6 is the best. But based on the benchmark, it shows that ChatGPT is better for coding.
Oh, so
it is
there-
like like I think this one is 80. ChatGPT is 86%. Claude Opus is at 84%.
Is it because there's a much more consumers than compared to the
Yeah,
other AI
ChatGPT is
tools?
mostly, I believe that everyone are choosing ChatGPT, right?
Since
Yeah,
it's the most common one.
Yeah, because it's the most
Yeah.
common one. And people are like quite comfortable with it, so they don't want to move to use another tool. But my advice is always good to figure out other tools. Yeah.
All right.
Do you think which one is like the most easiest? ChatGPT, or maybe you want to suggest another?
The easiest to use.
Yeah,
Oh,
for yourself, based on your opinion.
the easiest to
Yeah.
use. Currently, the easiest to use, I think, maybe ChatGPT.
ChatGPT,
Yeah,
right?
because people are quite familiar with it. Yeah.
It's very direct ask and prompt and answering question. All right. So we'll continue another part of this later on. Okay.
So to our viewers, kita nak bagi tahu if you guys have any questions or any comments, or we want to if you have any ideas, just leave a comments down below, and then also leave this video a thumbs up.
Yep.
Mm.
Signature is one of Malaysia's leading home and kitchen living brands, known for creating modern, stylish, and functional spaces designed to fit your lifestyle. Whether you're renovating your kitchen, grading your home, or designing a brand new space, what makes Signature stands out is their attention to details, practical design, and commitment to helping homeowners create spaces that are not only beautiful but also comfortable and efficient for everyday living. If you are planning to transform your kitchen or elevate your home, visit Signature Market TTDI and experience the solutions for yourself.
All right, so let's move on with our next question, the next part of this podcast. So, Dr. Obey, have you seen technology or automation in your field have actually caused more trouble than providing the solution?
Yes, exactly. Yes, I saw. And it's still going on. So to answer this question, so I would take two parts. The first part, we call it the AI hallucination.
Oh, interesting term.
Yeah. So if you go to ChatGPT and you ask a question, and then you dive deeper within the same topic, you will see that AI is going to start to be like a little bit off.
Yeah, or like circulating the answer again and again, giving the same feedback. Yeah.
So this is what we call it AI hallucination. So this is considered as one of the problem because people are not really aware of the prompt engineering, context engineering, and even something we call it meta prompt. So to avoid this kind of hallucination, then you have to change your prompt. You have to change the way that you are prompting. You need just to have the skills of master of prompt engineering and context engineering.
Oh, so there's a prompt engineering now.
Yes, of course, prompt engineering, context engineering. Prompt engineering, that is how to form the question, right? It's like how you are going to ask the question that ChatGPT or whatever other tool going to understand you well to provide you the most relevant answer. All right? And then another part when it comes to this issue, which is like a lot of companies, a lot of organizations currently, they want to develop AI. They want to develop AI 100% locally. Then they're always going to face problems with the data, with the talented people, with the accuracy. Later on will be with the cost. So I think there is, or should be, an awareness that is not like, okay, if you are going to implement AI or if you are going to develop AI in your organization or in your company, then later on you are going to make a lot of a profit or a lot of a problems going to be solved. It's not always AI is going to solve the problem. And the reality is, once you develop a model for AI, the first deployment is going to be the worst. It is always the worst, the first development, because from there we are going to improve the model, tune the algorithms, doing a lot of changes, agent changes for the sake of getting better results.
So you're saying people that develop AI need to expect failure in the first place.
Yes, of course, and they have to have a strategy. So not every company currently they can develop AI locally. Not every company also maybe they need to develop AI locally. They can just buy whatever tool available in the market. It's going to be quite sufficient, going to save a lot of time, going to save a lot of costs also for them. And when the company they need to develop something locally, then they have to build a strategy. So it's going to be one of the issues that everyone worldwide facing currently. It is the quality of the data. Not every company they have a good data. We talk about the big data. Yes, big data is the data that they collect so far, but good data is considered as a part of the big data, which is supposed to be the most relevant data to be used for that specific purpose. Not every company considered as an internet giant company, which is like they have a lot of data, then they can train the model. And one more thing, currently we have the tools. The technical part, we have it, and it's quite sufficient, but we don't have the enough data to be trained. We cannot compare
to feed the tool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we cannot compare with the Apple or Google or Microsoft or Oracle or IBM. So those giant big data companies, they have been collecting data for ages, then they can prepare those models. So this is one of the main challenges. The other challenge is the talented people. Currently, there's a lack of the talented people in this field. Even Malaysia, talking about Malaysia, there is a huge lack for the AI engineers. So the country needs more AI engineers. And this issue is not only in Malaysia, it's worldwide currently. And then later on will be the cost. The cost, we talk about the computing. So it is considered as the biggest challenge currently for every company. So how to reduce the computing? Computing will be a lot of money. So how to reduce the amount of computing, then they can reduce the cost and to provide the same results.
Right. That's a lot of challenge. But the way I see it, when it comes more challenge, the more opportunity to grow, and then there's more opportunity to solve the problem itself. And there's more opportunity for engineers to get that. It's a good time for engineers to get into AI.
Yes, exactly. So that's why there's a huge demand currently on AI engineer. Those people that they used to work as a data scientist before, but now they can monitor and they can develop the LLM models and they can look at the infrastructure, building the infrastructure of the pipeline for the data and whatever needed to be done later on. So we call them AI engineer. So AI scientist.
Oh, right. Interesting term. Right. So Asya, can you ask another question for our guest now?
Okay, Mr. Obaydee, Dr. Obaydee, would you mind sharing your with us milestones that remind you why you are doing what you are doing now?
Oh, interesting.
Interesting. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for the question. I think, and this is what I want to share for this podcast. So I finished my bachelor as electrical and electronic engineering. My final year project, it was about optimization. So we were looking on how to reduce the size of the electronic boards with all the electronic equipments in that time. So that's what helped me with the critical thinking. And then I was really good in math and very into math. I love mathematics. So that would develop a lot of critical thinking. But back then, I don't know that is the critical thinking. I don't know that is a skill of problem solving. Till I decided to follow my father at that time. My father also an AI. My father is a professor in AI, retired now.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was always asking me about, okay, why don't you start AI? Why don't you do something related to computer science? Back then it was a computer science.
Yeah.
Then once I finished my bachelor, I was working for a while. Then I just got a chance to study Master of Computer Science. I supposed to study Master of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, but the chance for that master didn't come. Then I got the chance for studying Master of Computer Science. I said, okay, let me try.
Okay.
I tried. I found it easier than engineering, and I was very exposed to coding. I'm talking about like 2010 back then.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
So when I start about coding, coding all about critical thinking and
Yep,
problem solving,
yeah.
and also the base of coding, a lot of math.
That's true.
Then
Yeah.
I was like so into it, and then I just decided to move totally. So I would say like engineering helps me a lot to be what I am now. It was a very good fundamentals. It was a very good base for me to build, and then that's why I'm like doing.
So it has become easier for you to venture into the information science and technology.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that it was a change, and then after I finished the master, then I decided to do the PhD. That was also influenced by my dad. Even if you ask me, I don't advise currently people to go for the postgraduate. So you can now find a job. You can work as AI engineer. You can work as a data scientist. You can work as a data analyst once you have a good portfolio. Not because you have a master or PhD or even a bachelor. If you have a good portfolio, then you can start finding a job in the market. Yeah. But parents always, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's good that they actually lead the way for you, open the door for you.
Yeah.
So, expanding from that, your education background. So, the moment that you felt like, we want to know the moment that you really felt, what I'm doing is actually worth something. It's actually meaningful. It's actually contributing a lot, not just for your own growth, but the advancements of human being or anything that is personal to you. Yeah. Is there any moment in your career or in your job that do you feel something like that?
Yeah, I did. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for the question. So when I started to be a trainer, my main focus, it was about helping people to find a job in the field. And in that time, it was a huge demand on people working as a data scientist, people working as a data analyst. So, and data scientists, I think, is a matter of like 10 years. It's not that old to find a job as a data scientist or to work as a data scientist. So the first course, it was about data science. So to build the fundamentals and to build the basics of being a data scientist. So most of the courses that I was running those days, it was about helping people to find a job. Then when people, they find a job and then they tag me on LinkedIn or they send me a message, thank you, I got a job. So it was like really, making me very happy. Yeah.
All right.
I'm still doing it, yeah. But now we are more towards AI engineer and whatever related to LLM, large language models. Yeah.
All right. So I saw from your portfolio as well that you're also opening like not trainings, learning AI for kids.
Yeah.
Could you care to explain how kids can start learn AI?
Yeah, actually, that one is back to 2018. And I developed a syllabus for one academic year, 9 months. It was about AI, artificial intelligence, and coding. Even I call it AIC for all. So artificial intelligence and coding for all. I started with the kids of 4 years old, 5 years old,
Ooh,
6 years
that
old.
early, 4 years old, already learn coding?
Yes.
Oh.
So I developed the materials. It was based on React, based on Scratch, based on whatever it was provided from code.org, from Amazon, from Google, and it was certified by the UNICEF. Because later on, when I'm going to deliver these learning materials, parents, they will ask, okay, my kids,
That's true.
yeah, what are they learning? Is this something good for them? Even those days, it's like one time the mother asked me, what is A1? AI, she thought it's A1. She said, okay, what is A1? I said, this is artificial intelligence, this is the technology, this is about automation, this is about like...
So you're explaining to the parents that...
Yes, exactly.
Explaining to the kids.
Even the parents become like also quite interesting to know what is going on. Then I used to use a lot of gamified materials. Yeah, so to make things interesting for the kids to learn from. And the kids, they were not learning coding as someone is going to type the code. They were looking at all the graphics And then after the graphics, it's going to be a lot of scientific puzzles, scientific games. And then after they solve the issue, after they win, then they will look at the code behind. Then later on, we will start to provide them the codes. So by the vision, they know what is the right code. But did they, in that age, they can write the code? No, definitely no. But at least they start to develop the critical thinking and the problem solving.
That's very interesting. You actually like break down their understanding process to make it more easier to match their age and their proficiency, to make gamify coding that are people in university that start learning, but then they are being exposed at such early as 4 years old. So are you still doing it now?
Because of the pandemic, I stopped it. Yeah, I stopped it because of the pandemic. Because during the pandemic, it was online.
To start again.
Yes.
Yeah. Then I was focusing on adults. I moved to adults. That's why now I'm doing a lot of things for adults. But maybe one day I will back. Yeah.
So
for
the
kids.
content preparation, how long did it took you to complete the syllabus? Because you're saying that it was certified by UNICEF itself. Yeah.
I think it took me a year at that time. Yeah. One thing about the PhD is upskilling people to be a researcher, to understand what is research, how to do a research. Research is not like something overnight is going to be done. You have to believe in active learning, which is like every day we learn a little thing. But we have to be consistent. We have to continue. So I was doing a lot of research in that time, and back to 2018, it was only in 8 countries worldwide they have coding for kids, and I was thinking to bring it to Malaysia. Yeah, so I decided to work on that. Yeah, so I developed the materials. Then I went for like a 3 months trial. So I was offering the classes for free. I just want the kids to come, to sit, to look at it. Parents, they used to come and then to look what is going on. Then I found it's like step by step, things become interesting and people start asking. And it was quite interesting for the kids also. We used to run classes for 45 minutes.
Okay.
Then the kids didn't move at all for 45 minutes.
Whoa,
because of the
you
material.
managed to keep kids sit in their space for 45 minutes.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah. So because of the materials that we provide them. Yeah. It was not that easy because to manage kids also is
That's true.
something. Yeah.
I understand how managing kids, the fact that you can keep their attention span going to learn about coding, that's very, very nice. That you took very careful detail in preparing the syllabus and make sure it caters to their knowledge at that time, their cognitive perception. Yeah. All right. So now you have this so we know that you're more than 20 years in the industry. Of course, that you have some sort of vision or expectations what's going to happen in your field, in the field of AI, in this large language model that we're having now. So I would like to ask you a question. What are your expectations in the next decade? Probably, what do people think about AI in engineering? Is it something that AI is going to replace us? Is there any occupation, any productivity, any type that AI would replace some part of it, or does AI will stay till the end and make sure that there are more jobs of wait let me rephrase that question actually. Let me rephrase that question. So what I'm trying to ask is actually, do you think that AI will actually keep more jobs in engineering rather than eliminating the ones that they are currently excel in? Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you for the question. So talking about AI, I think a lot of questions. Will AI replace me? Will AI take over my job?
Yeah.
So some of the global analysis shows that by the end of this decade, AI is going to take over almost 90 million jobs worldwide. 90
million different jobs worldwide.
Yes, it's going to be obsolete because of AI.
I mean, like jobs existence comes and go in every different ages and era, but then this is something quite critical. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And 90 million jobs worldwide is quite a lot, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, that analysis shows by the end of this decade, AI is going to offer 170 million jobs.
Oh.
So it's almost like a double.
Yeah.
And this is the reality of every technology. Every technology, when it comes to the market, is going to make a lot of jobs to become obsolete. But at the same time, a lot of new jobs is going to be in the market.
Oh, I
So that's why
see.
we have to move from the comfort zone. We always have to upskill, reskill. We have to accept the technology. Technology at the end of the day is going to be enforced on everyone. So whether we like it or we don't like it, is going to be enforced. So why don't I take the lead? Why don't I become the first one to learn about what is going on and then to master it and to be someone like the first one to use it. Yeah.
I like that. It's like you're saying that growth is inevitable. Yeah. So yeah, technology will always come. We're always gonna grow, become more and more modern. It's gonna become more advanced in the future, and then we just cannot say no to it. And I like to see that from that perspective. You're saying that rather than seeing AI is going to make 90 million jobs obsolete. You see it from a different lens that it's actually opening more job opportunities for people. But people, we are being stuck with the mindset that what about those 90 million jobs that's going to become invalid? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's why we need a lot of upskilling. This is what also we as trainers, we try always like to build awareness, train people, showing the capabilities of AI. AI is considered as a technology that we have to use it every day. 2 years ago, one of those days I woke up, then I found that ChatGPT was having a problem. It was hanged for a few hours.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do anything. And back then I was only using ChatGPT and I was using also the paid. So it's like for a few hours I couldn't do anything. So I just asked myself, so without ChatGPT, how I'm going to do my work? So why I'm so like into one tool, I should like focus on other tools. I should maybe develop my skills to develop some tools to be used. And I did. Back then I did.
As a backup also.
So that's why it's about, okay, taking the lead, about learning the new technology, master it, before somebody else is going to master it and take over your job.
All right. So you're requesting people, you're encouraging people to take the lead. But of course, the big question, the big why is the big question that we would have is how do we take the lead? What do we must do in the first place? What is the first step in taking the lead? What would you suggest?
All right, so it depends. You can always come to our courses, our training courses, right? If you can come to the courses. And at the same time, there are a lot of podcasts, there are a lot of free videos, a lot of things on YouTube. If you ask me, I would consider YouTube as the biggest university. YouTube is considered as the best source for learning. Definitely, we can also waste a lot of time on YouTube for entertainment and for things that are not relevant to us. But if we look at serious things, we can learn a lot from YouTube. We can keep ourselves up to date from those videos, and instead of just keep surfing and browsing and wasting time on things not related to us, we can invest this time for things that we can learn from. A lot of updates over there.
All right. So use what you already have now.
Learning
Just to
every
start.
day,
Yeah.
reading every day, at least 1 hour to read.
So you are very passionate about certain things, especially AI, right? And then I just wanted to know lah, is it someone need to have a patience in everything what they are doing? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely they have to. Yeah. Especially for those people who are going to learn the tool for the first time. So they think that, okay, AI can do everything for them, or AI is going to have the perfect answer or the perfect results or the most accurate result, which is not.
Will it never be accurate at all, or can it be perfected in the future?
Perfected, I don't think so. It's going to be as accurate as possible. Is it going to be 100% accurate? No, impossible. Even for us, when we build those models, we develop models, for example, for prediction, to predict things. So when we do the evaluation, our models, no matter how good, no matter like how good is the data we have, no matter as like how good the tools that we are using and tuning the algorithms, but we will never ever reach 100% accurate results.
I see. All right, that is very deep conversation we have here about AI, and I really like that. So yeah, I think everyone, if you have any question or anything you want to share with us or to Dr. Obay himself, you can always comment down below and we'll read and respond to your questions. All right, so that is all for this episode. We thank you, Dr.
Thank you so much for
Obay, for
having
having
me,
for coming to the show. So before we stop, actually,
So
Asia.
kita ada have like a gift for you, special gift.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Actually, have a
Appreciate
special
it.
gift.
Yes, thank you for joining us in the second
So
podcast
we have
episode.
this
Oh,
appreciation.
that's nice.
Yeah, so we have this appreciation certificate framed for you for becoming the second guest for our second episode of Kopitiam Podcast. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate
All
it.
right.
Yeah.
So and
And
also
our merchandise.
this is the merchandise of the IK from the IK Academy. Let me unbox it for you.
Please, please.
All right, so actually we have this a T-shirt, which I'm also wearing it right now. T-shirt
nice.
from IK Academy,
Thank you.
and
Thank you so much.
yeah, another one is our jacket, our IK Academy jacket that you can wear because you know the weather in Malaysia can be unpredictable.
Exactly, yes.
Sometimes it can be hot,
you.
and then 1 second it's gonna be cold, so you might need that. Yeah, and of course our notebooks and our pens.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you. So this is for you. Thank you for having us
Thank you.
today.
Thank you so much.
And so for engineering thinkers, thank you for staying with us till the end of the video. And for that, we'd like to say, remember, greater engineer.
Great award.